Do we face conflict and confrontation in our relationship? Are we afraid to confront and think that there can be a conflict if we try to address our feeling or if we try to give voice or express our feeling? Are we somebody who doesn't know how do we teach our kids when they ask simple question as when my friend was trying to ask something in the fight that we had, I was not able to deal with it. So how do I actually answer her or really talk in a way that will not have any kind of argument or conflict between us? So do we face situations in our life where we actually want to avoid a lot of confrontation or conflict, thinking that it may lead to a damage in the relationship or we may hurt somebody else feeling, and it may just mean that I don't know how to actually do it in a constructive way. So let's understand, confrontation actually is a very important tool or communication skill that we need to learn how to confront effective way, so that we don't have conflict. It's not about avoiding conflict, it's about we don't end up having any conflict in the relationship. So sometimes what happens is, most of the time, why do we not confront? It's because we want to avoid any kind of conflict in the relationship, or it's sometimes that we don't know to express our feelings. So just because we don't want to hurt others feeling, we actually are not addressing our own feeling, and then it gets repressed, and then one fine day it becomes such a big emotion out there that it will burst open without a knowledge. So, repressing one's feeling, suppressing one's feelings, and avoiding confrontation can lead to damage in the relationship in long run. So, first and foremost, we need to learn how to give words to our feelings, and the confrontation can occur in a most effective way in with an intention to understand other person. So there will be a lot of questions, there will be a lot of I statement, there will be a lot of things which will help us to have a effective communication with the other person. And we may not put the other person in a defensive mode. It can be very beautifully done, and that can actually build your relationship out, because you may avoid the confrontation and conflict right now, but it will damage the relationship in a long run. So it's important that we actually go, and it can start with a very small thing as confronting in a daily life. The confrontation is a very huge word. I would say communicating in a daily life in the most effective way, if we really think that it has to be addressed. So, first and foremost, it's important that we use the right word. We can use a statement which starts with I rather than you did this to me. Because of you, I am angry. Rather than that, you can use an I statement like I feel not understood when I'm talking in this situation. I am embarrassed. I feel not heard. I feel that you don't feel heard. So rather than using a you statement where we put a person into a blaming situation, you can always express your feeling with an I and learn to give the name to that emotion. Rather than saying upset or happy or angry, you can really say, I really I was really looking forward to hear from you that how happy you are to see me. So you really can give words to your emotion in a most effective way, actually communicating and making the other person understand you and seeking to understand other person. So in that you can ask a lot of questions which may not start with I. If you really are looking, and if we are doing a communication to understand other person, we can ask questions which are open ended, which are not close ended. Open ended question means we are giving a lot of space for the other person to speak. Like, when I heard I felt that you were upset. I think, can we really understand what has upsetted you? What was that has upsetted you? Rather than why were you upset? So when you put why out there, actually you are questioning the emotions itself. When we give a space for the person to express, that person feels you want to hear him out. So the questions also to understand the person can be put in a very effective manner that gives a space for the relationship to grow in the most beautiful way. Other thing is you need to see the attitude through which you are asking questions or doing those I statement. It may not come with a lot of high tonality which shows the inner turmoil out there and you're angry. You can calm your emotions down, and in a calmer state you can do this whole thing without thinking about the outcome you're expecting out of it. Sometimes we come with an outcome and that person has to understand us, that person has to feel good. Without all that outcome, you can just enjoy this process of really being understood and understanding the other person. So the attitude has to be in a way which conveys this emotion behind the confrontation. Okay. And of course the behavior, when the person is angry or when you want to communicate something, walking out of the whole situation, banging the doors, these are some things which actually, more than your verbal communication, your behavior can be misunderstood and there can go wrong message to the person. So, staying there calmly, looking into the person, talking to the person face to face with the whole point of view of making yourself understood and at the same time understanding the person. All this will help you to avoid any kind of not avoid, I'm so sorry speaking about avoid, it's about actually making the whole situation in a way which will not bring any conflict. Avoiding can happen only when we really don't want to face it. Here we want to stand there, face it, and see how we can really communicate what we feel and really understand what other person feels. It is a beautiful chance or opportunity for you to grow your relationship. That's how the most beautifully your relationship will grow, rather than putting it under the carpet, not addressing it, feeling frustrated and angry inside. These are something which we don't want to choose. We want to choose a happy, beautiful relationship. And that can only come with a lot of love and warmth and compassion and an attitude which will really feel that you really care and you really want to convey how it felt to you. Hope this video added value to your life, and do let me know in the comment section how did you like this. See you again. See you soon. Thank you.